Welcome back to another rebuild here on Madden 24, and today it's going to be of the Los Angeles Rams. And no, I did not decide to choose this team because the other day they signed Carson Wentz, alright? He is not a clickbait title guy anymore because he's like 12 overall. But I figured it was time to stop dancing around the bush, beating around the bush. Somebody's beating something around someone's bush, and just deal with this really tough to rebuild team. Now, there's some positives. This team as a whole has actually played better than, the roster talent you would think would allow them to play to. They've kept a lot of games close. Their offensive numbers specifically are actually pretty good overall. When you really think of this team, you're thinking of bottom three. Maybe they can get some in the pass game, but no run game. The blocking's going to be terrible. Defense outside of Donald's going to suck. Yet, they're not that bad considering, right? I would consider this probably still the worst roster in Madden. When you consider the fact that the Cardinals would be the other team that you would think is the worst. They have Kyler Murray. They have a quarterback, a franchise quarterback in-game, and that alone is more valuable than a really old, gonna regress hard Cup. And then, on Aaron Donald, that's probably going to retire before we even get a Super Bowl chance in this rebuild. But that's beside the point. Looking at the O-line, nothing crazy, but apparently Dotson's been insane. The receivers, obviously, Puka Nacua has been crazy for them, just out of nowhere. You love that story. Cooper Kupp is Cooper Kupp when he's healthy. Run game, they've had a bunch of different running backs do well, like Kyron Williams. Evans hasn't really gotten a chance, but I'm going to just start him because I think he's more injured because they don't really need him, and why risk a guy that maybe has something down the line going for you rather than, wanting to, not being able to start him. And then obviously we know Stafford's kind of out for a couple of games, but nothing crazy it seems. So we'll bench him for like 2 games for Carson Wentz, but overall, we're going to be starting him for the majority of the year. And then looking at the defense, once again, just not a real whole lot to work with here, and it's going to be a process. All right, $47 million, not a whole lot of money considering, once again, not a whole lot of talent. Hopefully it's a lot of dead hits. I know that, Stafford's not really the cheapest guy in the world. Jordan Fuller, the 25-year-old, I don't know how well he's playing. Decent enough zone. Might be a guy we keep. 1 interception, he's really not having a year. But once again, we are so low on talent that you might as well just give him a 3-year 12, and if you find better, so be it. Kevin Dotson, once again, playing pretty well in real life. 79 overall. I mean, we don't really have much. Normally, I feel like it's really easy to sign draft linemen, but not when you need so many things. It's not going to be easy to do because we're not going to have many picks. Johnson's for sure gone. I mean, pretty much everyone here is gone outside of who we just signed. Like, it's really bad. Just like it's really bad if you haven't subscribe to the channel by now. We do a ton of franchise stuff and a lot of rebuilds, 2 a week. Maybe you'd enjoy it here. That's all I could say. And please keep losing, Rams. All right, we actually went to the divisional round, completely just screwed up our first playoff game, lost in the wild card round, obviously, right? But it looks like about a 7-11 season. I kind of, just skipped right over 5-12, actually, even better. Which I mean, darn, no playoffs. Stafford was pretty good. Wentz was not. I mean, Stafford was pretty good when you consider that, Madden-wise, he's probably not going to do super well in Sim. Zach Evans is not. This is why we don't develop around here. We trade and try to find or free agent signing of some sort of player that's proven at running back, because look at how bad he was. In real life, you could be the worst running back in the world. As long as you're pro level, you're probably going to get about 3 yards per carry or more. He was at 2.6. That is crazy. Not as crazy as Kupp's numbers, and it's not like I did a realistic thing and benched him a bunch. He played the whole time. He just didn't do well compared to Nacua. Nacua should be star dev, though, which would be great, because he has high upside, obviously, and he's probably going to be like the wide receiver 1 of the future at some point here, because Kupp's going to retire. Donald was pretty good. Byron Young's pretty good. But, I mean, there's just not much to show for. I'm just hoping some of these players get dev ups, and we'll look at awards really for the other teams, not our own. Dak winning MVP as he does. And let's take a look if there's anyone else. Nacua, the Rookie of the Year. I mean, on par for it in real life, right? Like, pretty easily. Now, if he was on the AFC side, a little different. But NFC side, he should probably win it unless some injury happens, which the Rams really don't need that. Their fans, they don't need that. It's the Cowboys versus the Chiefs. Nakua, instead of star dev, he might actually be superstar dev. And the Chiefs do win the Super Bowl by 16. And like we said, Stafford drops hard, though, which really sucks. Kupp drops a little bit himself, but Nakua, not bad. What was the name? I can't remember. It was definitely like a Twitter post or something. Like when he was just coming onto the scene, someone posted like puke nuke. And it was like an NFL post or something. Like it was, I don't know if it was a meme page or something, but puke nuke. I mean, close one, dude. Yeah, you're just so close, but yeah, just a little off. Just a little off. Deep route +4. His route running's amazing. It's just his release needs to get up there. But yeah, he is really good so far. And pretty early on, obviously. And then Ernest Jones goes up in dev. No one else does, sadly. And Jordan Fuller doesn't go up. And we had the sliders at 152 for strong safety. Ernest Jones, though, star dev. Probably a guy we end up keeping long term. And he'd be one of our cornerstone pieces. So it's really Jones, Donald until he retires in like a season or two. And then Kupp, Nakua, Dotson, Avila. It's like 6 or 7 names out of the whole roster, which is not good. And those 6 or 7 names aren't like god tier great players. It's just they at least kind of have, a spot on the team going forward. But there's some low overalls in there, obviously. And 2 of the names are old as hell. And no names kind of snuck up on us, right? So there's that. I didn't actually see how good the kicker's season was. I'm not, like, going to just throw him away because he's bad overall, right? Okay, he was terrible. He missed 33% of his kicks. That's not your way into the pro realm, my friend. But hey, kicking a full season for an NFL team, that's still pretty cool when you have to go back to regular life. But still, it's pretty cool. Josh Allen, is that a guy that they're going to keep in real life? Possibly. Queen wouldn't hurt. There's some decent players here, actually, that are like long-term. Because obviously our team, we have basically no interest in anyone over like 25. 25 is probably our cutoff point because it's probably going to take the full 5-year rebuild that we usually do to even have a chance at a Super Bowl, if that. So over 25, especially if they're not dev'd, is literally the max. All right, I got a couple of names here. Josh Allen. We've got Grant Delpit, and we got Jeremy Chin, but I worry that we're not going to get like many of them. Edge rusher is tough to get. And Josh Allen is an edge rusher. So, do we not do this? I don't know. We're probably not going to get any of them, but we're going to try for him. Chin's still there. We got Allen. Oh, my Lord. Delpit is huge, but Jeremy Chin, if we get him, he can maybe play safety for us. Josh Allen was the big name, and we got him. We just need to dev up desperately. All right, so here we are in the draft with pick 5 overall. There's a decent-looking DT and tight end, but I don't know if those are players that I will actually go for. Dakota Elam looks pretty damn good. Very strong, insane athleticism. With that athleticism, could even be a generational talent. Might even be a probably generational talent. And then Preston, not the most athletic guy in the world, but an A catch and a bunch of different stuff. He's pretty athletic, and there's a lot of A to C's. Even he could be generational, honestly. Look at all the A's in there. And obviously those A to C's, a lot of those could be A's. I don't know. Elam going number 1 overall. I don't know if that solidifies him as a generational, but definitely a potential generational player. And then we move on from 3. We see no one there, and the Cardinals take a left tackle. So, pick 5. If I knew for a fact that this tight end was generational, I would probably take him. But I don't know for a fact that he is. So, with that knowledge, I may take someone like Bernie Matthews, who's obviously going to be a little bit more raw, but insane athlete. Is a 3 to 4. You save so much doing that. And then because of that, I don't think I have someone that I could really take this high. So we're probably going to end up having to trade down and maybe grab a guy like Kershaw. And perhaps if we get 2 first-round picks, Kershaw and Marshall, which would be a really good, kind of haul, if you will. So if I can turn this pick 5 into like 20 and like 21 or 22, I don't know if there's any teams that have picks like that. That's going to be the plan. By the way, spoiler alert on this trade, but How is a 27-year-old, 71 overall, a future starter / trade target young? Really? Is that how you feel? We really lost more than we... Oh, no, that was right. I saw that first round pick. I was like, huh? Because I seen all the players. But we really lost more than we probably should have. Should have just been straight up pick 5 for Petrie, the 23rd pick, and then 36. But I'm still willing to do this trade. You know, we've seen so many boneheaded trades, you know, when the Vikings, quote-unquote, you know, sold when trading down to the Lions. They got Jameson Williams. So far, you know, the Jameson Williams trade hasn't necessarily worked out just yet. But, you know, that's not really relevant here because it's about the pick value. And the pick value of the Vikings really took an L on that one. So, you know, it's just whatever each team thinks is valuable. You know, whatever each team thinks is a fair trade. And even though that hurt us a little bit, it's the best value we could get, and we absolutely needed to trade down because we're a team that is not really even close. So one really good player isn't going to do a whole lot for me, whereas 3 good players, or 3 average to good players, definitely helps me out a little bit more. I'm really hoping our DN's still there, but maybe we can get away without him. I'm scared. Stay there. Oh, that could be a sign. One more pick. And he's still there. We do need a corner. The Dolphins don't really, so might be able to trade up with the Dolphins. Let's see. But first things first, I think this pick is going to belong to the defensive end, Jeromepkr. Several A's. And even though he's not the heaviest guy in the world, I think he still can play interior. And if not, maybe we have a spot for him at edge. But I think he's more of an interior guy. So Jeromepkr is the guy. He's hitting dev. Not the strongest, but... you know, giving me Donald vibes, kind of. Not really, but close-ish. All right, we trade Yeast, a 2nd-round pick, and a 5th-round pick. The 5th round's next year to move up 6 spots with the Bengals. I was kind of chilling. I was like, you know what? Marshall's a really good-looking corner, but I have another corner. He's a little worse, but I could trade down again and save some to get him. But you know what? The value's here. The value is here. And with that being said, I had to trade up. Marshall, the A, man coverage, B zone corner. 5'10", not the most athletic guy, even though the 40 times says he is. We'll see who is right. But the key ratings are too good to pass on. That's who we're taking. He's hitting dev. And yeah, I'm telling you got to pay attention to that left side because a 4.36 40 is not 90 or 91 speed in Excel. It is faster than that. So the fact that that left side says it wasn't, it was correct. It was absolutely correct. It was the left side that was way more true than the right. All right, we ended up trading pick 5 for 65, 68, and a late 5th round pick, which comes out to almost the exact same value for both sides. Let's see what the Cardinals are going to be taking here. It is a running back. Interesting. I really didn't want to trade back here because there's a lot of medium range guys that are really solid. But you can see those draft picks there. We have 3 picks in a row here, and, I mean, there's still probably some hidden devs in here. The tight end maybe being one of them. I think that's probably a guy we absolutely have to go to just because of the position. Did the DT go? He did. Ugh. Maybe Knight because he's a nose tackle type, which right now we would have all 3 starters for a 3-4, so... definitely an option, day 3. Got some linebackers. I definitely want 1, maybe 2, because there's a lot of really good ones. But I think this pick almost has to be the tight end. It's just once again, another really tough position to get. And I don't know if he'll be good, but he's athletic, and usually the athletic types are pretty good. A catch, a short route, but that deep route does kind of suck. But we got to take a chance on him. And he's hidden. These guys, they're hit or miss. Usually they're star, but also normal. It's kind of hit or miss with those two between star and normal. Usually they're not higher, but you never know. But yeah, to get hidden when I was kind of expecting maybe star, but I was hoping for like a 73, 74 overall player is definitely a win. Lineman is kind of being neglected here a little bit, so that might be the position we go for. We have a center who is a day, he's actually not even a day 3. He's a UDFA who has a little bit of potential. I should have scouted him more, but I had other positions in mind, and it's kind of a weak O-line class. I really should have, but I think with this pick, I'm going to be taking, I might have to take that lineman. Bernie, Peck, or Briggs. I mean, I kind of think Peck's the best. I can't really trade back, though, can I? Can I move back to like 10 and get like a 6th round pick or something? I mean, I'm desperate. I need anything I can with this Rams team. Or I don't even know how the hell Carson Wentz is even here because I didn't pay him. But we ended up trading 68 and 154 for 77 and like 109, I think. So we moved back a little bit, but we gained that 4th round pick, which, I mean, I don't know how high of a pick it was, but it's fair enough, right? They ended up going with the linebacker we were debatably going for. I want to keep moving back a little bit just to add a little more value. You know, if we trade this pick right back to the next one and our guys are still there, we could trade those 2 fourths to maybe get back into the 3rd. So that's why, you know, we kind of make these trades, even though you think they're small, it adds up. At least that's what I always tell the ladies. Another trade where the draft picks are like almost dead even fair, but the game's like, I need a slight bit more, so we end up trading Pitts through. But we moved back, you know, another 8 spots to basically do what we just did for the most part. So we ended up adding, you know, 2 4th round picks, basically. The one we just grabbed was a little bit later, though. So really the hope, as I mentioned it, is that these players don't start going, and then I have to trade up for them. Literally lost both guards back-to-back. I don't even know. Did we really just trade ourselves out of a guard? I was like hoping that these guys stick around a little bit, and you know I end up getting more because of it in the end. I mean, I might just sell and have no linemen. Please don't do it, Seattle. Yes. Okay, so we do get a lineman. We still have that 3rd round pick right there. We still have a chance at a linebacker as well. It seems, right? A lot of them did go. Well, we have a guaranteed lineman. Or a linebacker, and then obviously we have this lineman right here. Peck is kind of the guy I was eyeing up the most anyways. More of a center, but either way, hopefully, he said it. All right, that's a win. That's a win. Maybe, once again, kind of screwed ourselves out of an extra lineman, but at the same time, would we have the trade value if we, and of course, one goes. I mean, I guess we'll take the only remaining linebacker left, and then in the 4th round, if the center's there, which he should be because he's UDFA, I might take him out of desperation. I wish I would have got to scout more, though, because impact blocking isn't really a whole lot to go off of, but J.D. Watson is a must, and we are on a 3-4, so if he's good, and he is, we kind of don't need anyone else, even though I usually do like to revert to a 4-3, you know, sooner or later. As of right now, we're rocking that 3-4, and we added some names. Did we end up getting a running back? We didn't, did we? Oh my god, why do I do what I do? I'm going to have to just find some running back here on our list. Franks might be a guy. We do have UDFA Sherwood as well. The DT goes, which is an L. Shelby. 22 years old. Strength's not there. A pass block finesse. D run block. C run block finesse. Looks like a finesse style. I can't really guarantee that they're good. The change, though. Negative 96. Wait, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Does that mean like he might have dev, but he's like a lower overall? I actually don't know. Is that what that potentially means? What about done? We don't really even need edge anymore. I might actually just I'm going to take the risk on him because I think that's what that could mean. He could have dev, but his overall is lower. And he is hidden. I don't know if that's the case, but that is, I mean, that kind of went through my head and, you know, the wheels started turning and, you know, here we are. And, of course, we could use our running back. I thought they were all gone. I thought they were all gone. What about Sherwood? So he is on the bigger side, a break tackle. Speed's, you know, not great, but power and truck is there. Kind of seems like the type of back you would want in, you know, a draft. This guy's a little bit faster, but, you know, even with the Bs, kind of throws me off a little bit. Because of the C zone coverage, even though we probably don't need safety anymore, I'm going to take Everett, who is normal. I mean, I kind of expected it, in fairness. And then I'm probably going to take the UDFA running back a little early, because usually I have these UDFA running backs, and I'm in the draft, and I'm like, oh, I'll be fine, I'll get them, you know, in the 5th or the 6th, and then the 5th or the 6th comes, and they're gone. So I don't know if he's going to be good, but an A break tackle, B truck, B stiff arm, he looks like the prototypical dual style. I'm going for him. He is normal, but 90 speed, 90 excel. He's probably still a starter, because he's going to be, like, similar overall to our other guys anyway. So we'll see what we ended up with the draft. I don't think we ended up with anything for next year, sadly, but we did really good for this upcoming season, right? We added Petrie straight up, and then a bunch of other, you know, hidden development trade players. So kind of got the Rams a little more back on track, but obviously we're still far from a great team. And I obviously do want to see those two players, the DT and the tight end specifically, that we passed up on. Well, we didn't pass up on the DT. I probably would have taken them if we had a chance. 78 overall for this corner. Obviously, I went straight over to him. He looked really good with the A-man and the B-zone. Typically, if you see a guy with an A and a B in the coverage, they're good. And he's superstar. That is a win. Usually I only draft nothing but star dev corners, so that is a full-on W. First pick that we had, I almost risked him too. I mean, I didn't almost risk. I did risk him. I just almost didn't grab him. Kershaw, pretty good ratings. What is that dev looking like, though? This is another guy that can maybe be superstar. He is not, unfortunately, wearing number in the 90s. Hopefully 92. Why not? We'll have to move players around and positions around. But Matthews, 76 overall. Bernie Matthews, obviously, even though Higbee is probably a higher overall than him, he's got to start. Way higher ceiling. He's in development trade. He could even be higher than star. And, I mean, I kind of felt he would be star, but you never know. 88 looks pretty good. Unless we let Higbee go to free agency. I can't remember if he needed a contract. I feel like with how bad of a team we are, though, I probably would have just signed him because we were desperate. Peck, very good pass blocking. Yeah, not much going on elsewhere, though. That is really all he's good at. Let's go with center because he's tiny, kind of. He's like 6'2". And fair enough. Linebacker, 74 overall for the middle linebacker, J.D. Watson. Like I said, if we stay in a 3-4, we kind of don't need anyone else. So him and Ernest Jones might be the future, you know, forever linebackers on this team. 44, 45 looks pretty cool. Star dev, pretty good. I mean, what can you do, right? It's at least hidden. These guys, we'll look at the running back, I suppose, but Abdul Shelby, I think, is going to be our guard. He's light, but he's 6'4", so I guess we'll play him at right guard. I know it's probably weight that matters more than height, but oh, he's superstar. I, once again, almost didn't go for him. The two superstars we drafted were players that I almost didn't go for, and they were both great, obviously. I mean, that's kind of the whole point of being a superstar. Sherwood, yeah, I mean, he has the highest potential of any running back we have, so he will start. And then Everett, 21 years old, with 75 zone. I mean, he did have that C+ zone. Probably would have been more of a B, but didn't scout him further. Didn't need to. Not a bad backup. Okay, so yeah, he is. Oh, and I see Preston there. Yeah, they're probably both generational. Elam at 82 overall. Okay, that's generational. 88 power move, 82 speed, 84 excel. Now, that's not crazy to be saying that's Aaron Donald. You know, maybe a little bit heavier, but that, I mean, 88, or maybe like a Jalen Carter, I suppose. Yeah, X Factor. Although they gave Jalen Carter star dev for some reason. I don't know what that's about. I don't know what his dev is now, but surely it's superstar, maybe even X Factor. But speed, yeah, lacking. Definitely lacking, but all the traits, obviously. No real, like, jukeability stuff. Catching's pretty damn good. Route running's kind of mid. Maybe he isn't. Maybe he isn't generational, because he did, 80 overall, but not the greatest, right? Oh, okay. Superstar X Factor. Would you call it generational, though? I think they consider generational to be high overall superstar X Factor, or if you're a lineman, obviously, superstar. But, I mean, those ratings are pretty mid, but superstar X Factor is great, so they did not lose with that move, especially since he was a top 5 and they got him at 9. All right, the squad. Obviously, we kind of forgot to grab a quarterback, but, maybe we'll have a better chance at one if we suck again. So, Stafford, good enough to start, and we did kind of build the roster up around him a little bit. We've improved the O-line. I put that superstar center at left tackle because he is, pretty athletic for, a center. Play my left tackle. He's tall, so why not? Receivers are, about the same, but Matthews, much better deep threat guy. And then looking at the defense, we filled this out a lot better. Middle linebacker looks a little better. Edge rush is miles better. DBs are a lot better. We added Kershaw. So, going forward, maybe a right out, but I'm going to give Young a little bit more time to develop potentially. Maybe a strong safety. DT definitely wouldn't hurt. Donald probably needs to be replaced just because of retirement. Maybe a lineman or two. Running back, and then obviously wide receiver we're going to be looking at because Cooper Kupp is now, 33 years old? Oh, he's 31. Okay, he's a lot younger than I thought. I'm thinking of, the Cowboys O-line. I thought it was Donald and Kupp were the same age, but I think I'm thinking of Tyron Smith and Zach Martin, which, not the same team at all, but, things happen. Well, there we go. Jeremy Chin is a superstar dev player. Still questionable, the decision to go for him, but we're desperate for any talent, so I was like, I'm going to bring him in. He was kind of cheap, and it's definitely looking a little better now. All right, still looking like a quarterback drafting season, but Ernest Jones needs a contract, so we'll pay him. Donald, I don't know if we're going to be able to get him back, but I obviously want to. It's kind of like the only guy that I'd absolutely know we can't lose. And then Tutu Atwell, overall, kind of like out of nowhere, just looking pretty good. So I might even try to keep him, just try to keep as much of the team as together as possible, even though there's not a whole lot of reason to. But that's a really good deal, so I'm willing to do that. Ernest Jones should be another pretty cheap deal. I mean, I'm going to probably give him a pretty long-term contract because, I mean, like I said, there's not a whole lot of guys that you want to build around. This guy is one of them. I want to build him. Well, he's one of the guys I want to build around. He's not one of the guys you don't want to build around. Tier 49, he looks probably a little more. Maybe it's a tag. I don't know. Can you really upset him anymore? Do you want to? Like, he'll grab your throat and crush it or do something else that nobody seems to mention because he's such a good player, and that's how the NFL has always been. Yeah, I'll throw that shade out there. It's true, okay? I'll throw that shade out there. I'm a Packers fan, but Clay Matthews wasn't the cleanest guy. Cleaner than Donald or Sue, for sure, but definitely not the cleanest guy. Check them veins, baby. The team just had to ruin our chances at a QB, winning tons of games. I mean, they almost snuck into the playoffs. They started winning so many games at the end, but I mean, this is a weird rebuild. It's a weird rebuild, right? It's a team that kind of sucked. Well, not even kind of. It really sucked out the gate. Then, even though we did add some talent, probably should still suck, but didn't. And now, I don't know what we're going to be looking at for QB. We might be ended up grabbing someone that's like a 70 overall and then like drafting whatever we can. Stafford really wasn't that great either, so he is, at the end of his curtain here, if you will. Kupp was pretty good, Nakua was not. Definitely need a scheme change as well. The Rams scheme is like all Kupp, nothing else. Allen did pretty well, though, for a 3-4, 10 sacks, 18.5 for Donald. Kershaw with 6.5, not bad. Interceptions, I mean, it is what it is. Tackles under 100. Actually, there was 121 solo. I paid Dicker long-term 3 block kicks out of 15. I don't know if that's because of him, how they determine block kicks, but that is not good. Joe Burrow, the MVP, at least it's somebody that makes a little more sense. The Cardinals with 2 Rookie of the Year award wins, which, I mean, in fairness, makes sense. Oh, Josh Allen. He's a superstar or better. That is sweet. Guy that usually gets kind of stuck at star dev for the majority of a rebuild, but not in this realm for us, which is a W. We'll see if we can get ourselves a quarterback, though. That's really the big missing piece we have. Running back as well, in fairness, but Chiefs versus the Cowboys. It'll be a super fun time to be a freaking NFL fan, right? Seeing the same 2 teams every time. Gotta love it. Last 2 decades. Gotta love it. But, yeah, the Cowboys get revenge, as I think the Chiefs won the first time. I think. I don't know. But let's take a look at these DevOps. Offense should have none. And that is factual. Defensively, Allen goes a superstar. And then everyone else is already where they are now. Oh, no, Byron. I think Byron went up in Dev. Oh, my God. I forgot how old he was out the gate. We might still need edge. Wait, was he already star? When he must have got star from like a weekly award or something. You can get him from weekly awards, I believe. So let's go see if he won one. Or maybe he had it last year and I forgot. I don't know, but let's take a look at the weekly awards. I think you can get them for these. I've never gotten them. Oh, I can't even look. I've never gotten one playing an actual franchise, but I've seen them quite a bit in rebuilds, which usually aren't for us, but sometimes we get them. But let's take a look at the re-signings. We got Donald back. I think we got Havenstein. We might have actually missed out. I can't remember, but it's not the biggest deal in the world because there's probably going to be someone better in free agency anyways. So I actually kind of hope we did. Crap, we signed him, or he retired, which win-win. Not really, because one would be us re-signing him, which is definitely costly for his age and overall, but I can't blame myself. No, I definitely did re-sign him because it was like week 13 and he only gave up 2 sacks. So I was like, I got to reward him for that. Niners at 10-7 won the division. So it could be ours next season. You never know. Nick Chubb is a name. He's a good running back. Russo after the fact. Obviously Allen was great, so I'm not really too mad about it. But Russo after the fact, even though we're in a 3-4 anyway, so it probably doesn't fit. That's what she said. Running back, is it just Chubb? I mean, I'm willing to pay Chubb probably the 3-year deal, honestly. It's risky because running backs just don't last long anymore, but I'm willing to pay the 3-year, although the Panthers they're kind of getting crazy, but we really need a running back. Coming off of a pretty big injury, maybe he's just not the same guy anymore for the Browns. I don't want to pay too much, but at the same time, our running back position is not going to be fixed any other way than to pay up in free agency, in my opinion. So, even though he's 29... he is an X factor that is a 97 overall, so he's a little different than your average running back. So I think we can definitely win out in this situation, even though it's like nearly 20 mil per year. All right, 2 names, Lael Collins and Nick Chubb. I don't even know if we need Collins, but I think we do. So I'm going to go for him. Actually, I don't because we have Havenstein. We didn't. Oh, that's a huge L. We offer him a 3-year 54. He ends up taking a 3-year 42 with the Panthers. He's going to be asked to do a lot more there. Still went there. Nice. I might have to trade for a running back. I just don't have any faith in drafting one. Oh, good thing we did go for Collins because, yeah, Havenstein actually retired. We just, we never finished the deal. I thought I did, but I guess not. So that's interesting. All right, pick 14. What are we cooking? Obviously, there's a couple of quarterbacks. Similar to last year's draft. I think a little bit worse, but overall good enough. Ooh, Jim Bryan's a 2-3. So all of the guys are liars. Price looks the best, clearly, but we'd absolutely be going for Walter Hunt or Price. Hopefully none of these guys go top, 5, but very well could. Number 1 overall probably will be, right? Oh, it's a left tackle. That is a win. The Bears could take one. Don't think they will. They took a QB. The Dolphins shouldn't, but they do let Tua go sometimes. The Saints, No quarterback there. The Patriots could take QB. No quarterback there. The Vikings could take QB. All right, Seattle, please tell me you've gotten a quarterback already. They still have Geno Smith, who's better than Stafford was last year, and we end up giving them 14 and 46 for pick 7 and a 4th-round pick. So with that pick, we're going to be taking the final quarterback remaining and not having a 2nd-round pick. But obviously quarterback was the biggest need, so we're hoping the guy that I was probably going to take over any of them if I had the choice is good. Elite throw power, elite strength, season change 1, -1. So, I mean, he's been up here the whole time. Cole Price, let's see it. Hidden Dev, 96 throw power. We're cooking. We got ourselves a new Stafford. And I probably could have chilled a little bit before just going straight to the 3rd round, but hopefully there's someone there anyways. Oh my lord, I almost forgot about running back. Percy Simpson's there. So is Fitzpatrick. He's a little bit on the weaker side. Percy Simpson, I think, is going to be my choice here. I think so. 21. That sounded very Canadian, even though I'm not Canadian, but, might as well be. Looks really good. I almost sold. Completely forgot about him. Percy Simpson's my guy. And he's hidden. I was just grabbing him as a potential another normal dev with like 75 overall or something. But he's hidden, and that is a win. I mean, I don't know why I went all the way to this spot. Just thinking, we don't really need anyone. We got who we needed. We needed the QB. That would have been a really big L. As you can see, he's hidden. That was almost a mistake, but luckily the day 3 was, not like first round and the, first pick in the 4th round, day 3. I don't know what the hell this pick is worth, but probably a little bit more than that. I kind of want to keep a 6th, get a fullback or something. I don't freaking know, but okay, I guess we're going to be trading everything up for this DT who we kind of need. Our DT right now is a guy that really isn't developing, so if this guy's like hidden or something, it's worth it. Once again, not drafted anywhere past like the 4th round, which obviously this is higher than the 4th round. This would be the 3rd round. Stafford's still here. I hope we can save a lot of money, get rid of him, because, yeah, that's a contract I do not want to keep around if we're not going to start him, which we obviously aren't. We have a replacement now. Who the hell do I get rid of? Kobe Durant, here you go. Actually, I could probably keep a 6th round. Yeah, see, last second, quick thinking. The last pick of the draft, and I don't want to hear anything, oh, it's unrealistic. Have you seen what the Rams have done with their draft picks over the last few years? You can suck it, all right? DT, I mean, he's not great. Definitely not great. But A finesse is always something I'll fall for. And, weak but super fast. Please be hidden. Okay, that might be a bad decision. Either way, it's our decision. But I'm really curious to see that running back because we really need a running back after Nick Chubb sold us. I mean, this could have been like a super glow-up team, and he was just like, yeah, I don't really, I'm not really feeling it, It's like, really? You screw us like that? 74, 74, 71. Quarterback at 74 is not the best, but maybe his dev is. Deep accuracy is amazing. Medium's decent. Short is amazing. So, yeah, he's very good. He has paranoid sense of pressure. I don't know if that would reflect anything on his, potential dev here, but We're about to find out. And he's star. I mean, I really had no choice, but curious to see if the other two quarterbacks had higher. Let's take a look at their... Oh, actually, let's take a look at our other guy first. Simpson. Percy Simpson, 74 overall. I said 75, but close enough. Great trucking, great stiff arm, pretty good juke move. Very fast for his size. Let's see what kind of dev we got. Number 8's not really... I'm not really feeling it. Something in the 20s, probably. 40? Number 8 is... Let's go number 1, actually. Screw it. Star dev. Number 1's a little more, like, elusive back style, but it is what it is. We're dealing with it. Number 1 was a tackle. Was he even hidden? They just took a normal dev tackle, number 1 overall. There is no shot. There is no way. Jim Bryan, pretty accurate, strong-armed. You know, worse than our guy in accuracies, but could be higher than our guy in dev, which is what I truly suspect, to be fair. Not true, though, so, I mean, equal pretty much for our guy. Who the hell is that? Free safety is insane. I just clicked the wrong player. Another normal. Wow, okay. Top 3 picks looking shambly. Reddick with hidden dev. Oh my, generational. Not very fast, and with the size, it's sus, but 85 zone with that high of an overall has got to be. Although you see a lot of star dev safeties. Superstar, okay. It's hard to tell because safety might just be one of those positions that has high overalls naturally just based on like play rec and all that, but he's still really good, even though he's not generational. Walter Hunt, very much so worse accuracy than our guy. Let's see the dev. If his dev is star, we had the best of the 3, I think. And, nah, superstar dev. But, hey, pretty good draft pick. Didn't cost, you know, pretty good quarterback. Didn't cost us that much. But, yeah, the quarterbacks were not the best. They were decent enough, though. Starters. Will they be franchise quarterbacks? Maybe, but definitely no guarantees like we've seen in previous drafts, but good enough for my liking. Season 3 has the team in the right direction. Got a bunch of youthful players playing positions that we've struggled to develop. Quarterback, obviously, for Stafford. And then running back. Of course, wide receiver is probably going to be next up, even though Cup's still kind of young-ish for Madden. We might need a new guy. He's just dropped like 3 or 4 overalls, and if he goes any further, if he drops to like 88 or lower, you know, we might need a new player. Thank God Nakua is developing. O-line is as follows. I mean, I don't know what we're going to do with Leo Collins this season, or Dotson, I think next season needs a contract, but we at least have starting caliber players, and most of them can develop. Of course, Matthews is starting tight end. I'm going to run a new scheme. I don't know what just yet, but we're definitely going to change it. And I worry about Donald as he's 34. He could retire after this season, which would be such a loss. But we'll see. We're trying to develop as quickly as we can. And I think we turned around a very bad Madden roster pretty quickly. For the most part. We could have chose XP or attributes. Most of the time you choose XP, it's terrible. So 3 to under pressure for Cole Price. We are down astronomically bad, and I haven't even got to the re-signings yet. Good thing it's pretty simple, right? There's nothing crazy going on here. So obviously you re-signed Petrie. We just made a decent trade involving him. And then Leal, we'll see. I think we might be able to do better than him, or him again in free agency, but yeah, pay Petrie, who could cost a little bit. I mean, probably about 10 per, very close to it. Yeah, I mean, pretty close to it. And go on to a super successful season. So I tried a bunch of different playbooks, and none of them seemed to work. We won the final game, which I'm sure really helps our draft pick case. Jim Bryan did pretty well. Touchdowns were low, but probably better than our guy, since we went 4-13. Pretty terrible, but rookie quarterback, rookie running back, you know, we're hoping those are big factors and the reason why we weren't great, and maybe it'll improve this coming season. But looking at the numbers, pretty Stafford-like, which I don't know if that's good or bad, because Stafford is, you know, borderline Hall of Famer, but he was borderline retired last season as a starter. Simpson was about as good as a running back that isn't developed usually is. Receivers were, you know, pretty tame stuff again. Block totals, terrible, almost 30 allowed from the tackles. Allen's cooking up, could go to X Factor. Donald was pretty bad. Kershaw with 5 sacks. I mean, at least Josh Allen has been a really good signing for us. Looking at kicker, speaking of kicker, there goes Dicker. Pretty good stuff there. Only missing 1 kick out of 14, and last year he missed 4 kicks, but 3 of those were blocked, so really only missed 2 kicks out of 2 years, which is not bad at all. Joe Burrow wins MVP, which I think he might have won last season. Once again, I take breaks in between recordings sometimes because they take a little bit of time, and I record other things and whatnot. But looking at award wins, probably not going to have one outside of maybe linebacker, and we do win that. So more XP, maybe a dev up like we would expect. But yeah, I'm not really sure what to do here because that was a really bad season. Even for a rookie quarterback, rookie running back, I was expecting a little bit more than that. And the Cardinals, if the Cardinals can get to the Super Bowl, why can't we? Bird battle, they don't win. So if you're going to argue that the Rams and the Cardinals are the two worst teams in the league, they have still not beaten us yet. If they get a Super Bowl, it's a GG. But they have not done it yet. Dev ups on offense. Oh my God. I was thinking if he drops 88 overall, it's going to be, maybe we have to replace him. I was thinking like a season from now. Holy! He just dropped 46 overalls. Barely even wide receiver 1 at this point. I mean, by overall, it's probably Nakua almost. Simpson, a couple of upgrade overalls. What about defense? X Factor? Nice. Unfortunately, no other X Factors or DevOps, and Fitzpatrick didn't go up in Dev, which really sucks. Byron is an 82 overall, but the problem is he has done nothing. I don't know what his contract is like, but we might be able to trade him off. If there's a big-name edge rusher, I mean, it worked with Josh Allen. Why not do it again? We have a high draft pick. Maybe that'll be the route for the pick. I'm not really sure what else you can do, right? Like, unless you find, like, a generational quarterback, which we took a guy, pick, what was it, 11, 12, 13, somewhere around there. You can't really move on that quickly, right? Surely? I don't know. Unless you pull a full Cardinals, ironically enough. But either way, let's go to the re-signings, which, like, Lael, I think, is the last guy. But you know what? I'm just going to skip it. I'm going to look just in case. Oh, I didn't even check Donald. Please don't tell me Donald retired. I'm going to look just in case there's some other name that just, like, popped up out of nowhere. But it should be fine. Also, didn't Kyron Williams just have, like, a really good season? I want to see. Yeah, 5.6 yards per carry. I don't know if that was on a long. I kind of already forgot, even though I just clicked it. That's really good for a backup. And he still chose free agency. Obviously, the tag's not going to be worth it. $20 million per or on the tag is quite a bit of money. I'm not going to be paying for a running back. Let's move on to free agency, see what we're looking at. All right. A lot of money. So if there's names, we could be looking okay. Running back, I mean, there's a proven one, but he's not proven. Daxton Hill. What is our safety situation? Do we need a strong safety? We might need a strong safety. Is it Fuller still starting? I gotta say, Daxton Hill is really mid, but X Factor 25, and there's not really much more to go for. I kind of have, like, almost no choice to go for him, though. Edge is terrible, so we're going to be able to get something like that going, sadly. It's an L around here. We got Mac there, maybe. Yeah, I think we're going to be drafting edge rusher in the top 3. All right, offered a 4-year 48 for Daxton Hill, and he took it, which is, about 12 mil per year for an 84 overall X Factor, who is blazing fast. I think that's very worth it. Fuller is just going on the downside, and then obviously Daxton Hill is going to be going upwards. So what draft pick do we have? Top 3, hopefully. Maybe we'll finally get a number 1. If there is a generational player, which hopefully there is at edge, we can take them and instantly plug them in across from Josh Allen, and then maybe trade off Byron for like a late 3rd. All right, so we are officially in the draft, and we obviously have pick 1 overall, which is likely going to be a pass rusher, and I'm probably going to take them at number 1 because they, A, look pretty good, and B, all of our edge rush options, which are these 2 and the linebacker, are all top 5 / top 15. So there's really no point in trading down. Let's take a look at Mr. Martin, 6'1", pretty athletic, A finesse, pretty good. Block shed, I don't know about. Power move, D. B awareness, B play rec, decent stuff. Jacobs, is he he is an edge rusher. He's not a DT. Another athletic, really good looking player, but D block shed, C power move. I mean, he's good. He's good. But as I scouted him, I didn't scout Martin more. I scouted Cox, and let me tell you, this guy looks better than the rest. Obviously, B block shed, B pursuit, A tackle, very athletic. And then you look, A power move, B finesse, B block shed, the A awareness, the A tackle, the A hip power, the B pursuit. This guy looks like one of those prototypical, 76, 77 overall, like superstars. I think because of that, I will be taking him. If he's normal, which I've seen a lot of edge rushers being normal, especially outside linebackers, I will cry because it's pick 1 overall. So don't judge me if he's bad. Which he is not bad. He's hidden development trade. He could also be star. Lower speed than I was kind of expecting, which now leads me to believe that he's actually star, not superstar. But only time will tell. We're going to be now going to pick 1 in the second round. I did have a wide receiver. I doubt he's going to be there. He was 1 to 2, though, so you never know. That I was willing to take, but if he's not there, oh, he's still there. You know, if he's not there, I was going to say, not the worst thing in the world. Also have a DT type in Dominique Hobbs. I also have a nose tackle type, which is kind of what we're missing. I don't know if I can pass on Hobbs. His wide receiver looks pretty good, too. He's 6'4". I think he had decent enough speed. He's 21 as well. It gives him more time to develop. Great jumping, great speed. Obviously, he's actually technically elite jumping. This is tough because I think Massey and Hobbs are pretty decent. But if I go Hobbs here, I'm not obviously going to be going for Elliott. So I might be able to trade up for the receiver as well. So I might just take Dominique Hobbs and do that anyways. Let's see what we get. Oh, well, he's a new starting DT, but he's normal like the rest of them. Let's go to Washington and see how much it costs to get up there. I mean, the Commanders should see us and say, hey, they just had the first pick overall, so you want to kick a 3rd to us next year with the 3rd this year, we're kind of cooking. I don't know if that's what they're going to accept, but I'm down. They're not. Well, actually, they need edge. Actually, they don't because they're in a 3-4. What can I get for Byron? Let's trade a Byron and use whatever that is to get us the player. Or maybe we can just like find a team that's like right next to them. Screw it, we're trading Byron Young to the Saints, who are also not the right scheme fit, to be fair. I kind of just went to the team that was closest in the 3rd round to us. So this should be pretty easy. Instead of having to trade a next year pick, we're just going to get it all done in this draft. And where the hell was the team? Or we got 2/3 this year, 5th this year, and a 7th 2 years from now for the high second, which, I mean, that's kind of a trade that we would be on the other side accepting more often than not. So we're on the other side of this for once. And with this, we're going to be going for Massey, Alexander Massey, the wide receiver. And he's hidden with great jumping and great speed. He is a solid-looking player. Half tempted to go for the nose tackle, too, now. I think I'm going to go to 10 in the 3rd and then just see what's cooking. All right, trade Zach Evans off a 4th and 6th this year with a 5th next year for the 3rd round pick from the Eagles. We got Tanner McKee because they couldn't afford the running back. But they're obviously a team that looks for a ton of running backs, and they move their running backs around a lot. And, you know, I wanted the DT, the nose tackle type. O-line wouldn't hurt, but, I mean, it didn't work out with the guy that we drafted in the 1st round. He is slow as hell. Reps aren't even that good, but taking a chance on him. And he is hitting 94 strength. Very good. Very good. Probably going to have to start no matter how good that edge we got. Well, not edge, but the D end we got was just because of hitting. But, you know, Donald might have retired, actually. I didn't even think about that. We might actually need him. There's a decent chance that Donald retired, and if he didn't, we'll just, you know, use him the following season or something like that. But that might have actually been an accidental need, because once again, I forgot to look. Well, I guess we'll find out this way too. Yes! Donald, you hero. A lot of the times, 35 is kind of the cutoff point. So for him to still be here is a huge. It's very rare to see someone make it to 36, though, so we'll see. And I'm talking about lifespan, obviously, not age in the league. And I found a random kicker, Josh Pearman. I don't even know if I need him, but I'm going to take him. 96 kick power, 7th rounder. Why the F not? That just reminds me of when we were doing our one of the Texans episodes, where someone was like, you deserve to lose. Who the hell has 2 kickers on the active roster? So stupid. It's like, bro, this ain't real life. This is Madden. You maybe need 25 to 30 players on a roster max, even with injuries on. Relax. He's a hidden dev kicker. He's the future. Relax, buddy. 78 overall. Higher than I would have thought, which is a good thing, obviously. Kevin Cox. 83 power move's a good thing. 76 block shed, 86 strength, 86 hit power. After seeing that overall, I might be back on, I think this is a superstar dev player side. What number? 52 is pretty cool. Is it? No, we actually do need an outside linebacker. Is it right out? I can't remember. Either way, let's take a look at that dev. And it's X Factor. That's what we've been looking for. Obviously, not really at all. This is actually the first year we've been looking for an edge rusher because we were hoping Byron Young would have been the guy, which he developed all right, but the problem with him is that his... not bad, actually. That his overall, didn't reflect his play style. Like, he was just really bad. Of course, Massey... If I was really smart here, I would start him and then put Cup in the slot. Put Nakua at number 1, the Massey at number 2, and then Cup in the slot, but... We'll see what we're cooking with. Star Dev. 85 looks a little weird for a 6'4 receiver, in my opinion. I mean, 84 is pretty cool. Randy Moss kind of reminds me of, obviously. And then Mr. Elliott, the final player, 76 power move. Sucks that DN. If we would have had that DN as hidden, that would have been the ultimate move. Superstar. Another superstar nose tackle. Add it to the list. I didn't find any of the speedy wide receivers. I might have missed them, to be fair. I don't check every single wide receiver, but haven't seen one of those yet, but we have our prototypical nose tackle superstar, though. All right, so I kind of forgot to get a tackle, so we're going to be giving up our 3rd round this year, our 6th round this year, and a 5th round next year with Turner, who we're obviously not going to pay anyways. He's on his final year of his contract. For Brewer, who's, he's pretty decent, I suppose, but they obviously don't need him, so... I don't feel as bad, and we're going to be moving him over to right tackle. He's, like I said, he's all right. He's 23. He's pretty young, and, those are his ratings. He's definitely a little raw, but overall, he's a serviceable right tackle where we would have had no one before this, and obviously it means we don't have to draft anyone because he's, on year 2, and we'll have him for another 2 seasons, which is like the max we'll do. So, yeah, that's that. All right, the Season 4 roster. We have the wide receivers kind of moved around. Massey at number 2. Nakua can take the L for 1 season because he's such a high overall already. But it's probably going to be Massey and Nakua next year as the starters. So I kind of wanted to get Massey a chance to develop, maybe even win like Rookie of the Year or something like that. Whereas Cup, this is probably his final season, right? I don't know what his contract... he's 33. I don't know. Yeah, we can... get rid of him after this season, and maybe not even get rid of him, but he probably needs a contract, and we just won't be able to bring him back because he'll be like an 82 overall or something. It just won't be worth it. Maybe we bring him back as like the slot receiver, depending on how much he's asking for, but defensively, we're looking a little bit better, but we're about to lose Donald, so this is one of those situations where I wouldn't say the window is now because we are still a little raw, but if we had a really good year, this would be a good time to do it. I don't know what we're going to get out of Simpson. Hopefully our quarterback plays a little bit better, but it's a really good team. We've developed it pretty hard, and it was from a bad place. So I'm just hoping that we can at least put up a decent season if it's not like a Super Bowl winning one. Fuller's still in the squad, so we have really good backup safety, and Edge could do a little bit better. But overall, it's a decent roster. Bit of an iffy season. Jeremy Chin is 28 years old now. Cup needs a contract, so he probably is going to be gone. Steve Avila. Man, we have got some not great players, though, I will say. Avila being that low of an overall still is kind of painful. All right, so 170 mil. Obviously, we're going to be paying Nakua. He seems pretty fair. I'd say that's about a 5-year, 66 probably. Jeremy Chin, probably got to bring him on another year because free agency's been pretty bad for corner, and we're just not going to have enough time to develop another corner. Avila, the contract's cheap, so 4-year, 16. If he's a starter, he's very cheap. If he's a backup, I can live with it. Donald, I kind of have to pay him like he's going to stick around, even though there's a good chance he doesn't. So 1 year, 25. Okay, I'm going to just let him, not like let him walk, but we could just tag him. Dotson we can do better than in free agency for sure. What else did we have? Zeke. Evans, I don't know what his kick power is. We'll take a look. Tag, or the 5th-year option could be available for both of these guys. And then we will pay Chin in them. Or if we win, I think there's a chance we're in the playoffs, and we do win. I'm not touching that. I'm not touching that. Nope. Not touching that. 9-8. We get to the playoffs. Wow, Price is really just not working out for us. Simpson's just as bad. This could actually be a quote-unquote failed rebuild. Obviously, getting to where we are now as a roster is a win, but as far as, doing damage in the playoffs, getting a Super Bowl win, I don't know if that's going to happen. Defense was actually pretty good. The sack numbers were pretty balanced across the board. Ernest Jones should go up in dev, I think, with those tackles. It's pretty high. Dicker's doing pretty well. That kicker we have is just random. I don't know. That backup kicker we have is... that one makes a little bit, less sense to have him. Lamar Jackson winning MVP. Any award wins for us. The old Rams. Hey, Cox. We like that. We love Cox. He's, the future, really. Best linebacker again for Josh Allen. Is that 3 straight seasons? I don't even know. It's a lot of them. It's a lot of seasons he's had it. But the playoffs, the Niners, we are down 4 overalls on them, and we're down real bad if Donald retires. Like I said, there's a good chance that this is a failed rebuild. I kind of felt like it would be because it's the Rams after all, but let's see. I should have checked if we actually beat the Niners or anything like that, but didn't want to waste time looking at a 9-8 season. Real fun. 7-3, 10-3. It took us a long time to get down there, but we're doing all right. We got a field goal before half. We were in the lead. Now we're not. Down by 4. Come on. Defense is doing all right. It's just the offense is not scoring. And, of course, anytime I say the defense is doing all right, it always just sells. And that will not change here as they literally get walked all the way down the field with like 8 minutes left and lose the game. Okay. Every time I bring it up. Like, how much minutes did they have? They had 7 minutes and we couldn't get a stop. They had a 7-minute drive to win the game. That is pain. Price didn't throw any picks, but he got beat up by Purdy. That's really sad. The running game was just terrible. What would this team look like if we actually got Nick Chubb? Like, would the team actually be, like, really good? Because we know that, like, AI running backs, like the CPU running backs, just don't do anything. I don't understand why EA coded it that way. It should be based on, like, speed, ball carrier vision, carrying, juke move. It's just, like, overall. If they're under, like, an 85, especially 90, they suck. And it's just so stupid. That's why I never draft and develop running backs. Like, I haven't done that for Maddens now. Several Maddens, because it's just not worth it. You might as well pay premium dollar for running back, which is ironic because it's completely opposite in real life. In the real life, it's like, get a good offensive line and you could put anyone back there. But in Madden, you have to have a god. A lot of money, so free agency actually doesn't suck for once, which is never the case. We can actually maybe build a really good final roster here. And as you can see, the Panthers do win the Super Bowl. If Donald's gone, I'll be honest with you, my odds are very low of winning. And there goes Donald. There goes Cup. That is something. That is something. Failed rebuild? Question mark. That's kind of seeming like it. I guess I'm glad I didn't pay Donald. Could have done the morale thing. So I guess it probably doesn't matter whether you click it or not. But I feel like it's almost a guarantee if you click it. I know they do have it sometimes where he's like, I'm still pondering. Wait, what? Wait, I paid him. What? Huh? Bro, I paid him a 6-year, $84 million. He said it was cool. I guess he didn't take it? Did he not? I thought he took it. I don't know. Whatever. We got him now. That is something. It's going to be like 20 mil per regardless. Kershaw is going to be at least 10 to 20. Maybe I should have just waited on him, but I don't know. That's about that. That's really what we're looking at. What about the punter? Punters are punters, so it's... Oh, yeah, he's good. He's good at punting. I knew it was the strong-legged punter. Let's go with a 4-year deal. Let's knock that out. 4-year, 8. Might as well. All right, especially with Donald and Cup retiring. I can't believe Cup retired, though. He's about to be 34. Like, that's a little early. Usually it's 35, but okay. But yeah, we definitely need some big names here, which we're not going to get. Tyreek Hill, I've got to go for him. Trent Brown's not great, but I need a lineman. D-line is like basically dead for us. Byron Young is a free agent. I don't know why they would let him go. Felix isn't really the scheme fit we're looking for. So obviously we have pretty much no choice but to go for anyone that's halfway decent. So I'm going to be paying Tyreek Hill here as... we got 170 mil pretty much to use. I got to go for him. And we're not even going to get him, dude. Oh, my lord. Like, look how much money we have, and we have nothing to spend it on. That's so painful. I don't even want Tyreek Hill, but, like, I have no choice. We're offering him, like, literally the bag, and we just made the playoffs, and he's like, nah, dude. Nah, I don't want to come here. Playoff contender, that's the funniest part is our playoff contender is our highest thing for him to join us on. And yet, that is, like, by far the biggest lie I've ever seen. I mean, I'll offer him literally max. What is the max? I don't know if he can actually go higher than 30. Pretty sure 30. I just turned into freaking Michael Strahan there. 30. The old tooth. I don't think he can go higher than 30, though, right? Let's see. It's probably going to be like, you're maxed out. I don't know why they would, like, be the gatekeeper. Oh, it didn't. Wait, can you give him, like, a 1-year 60? Wait, what's the highest you can offer? So, we only get into the conversation if we offer him a 1-year $60 million deal. EA constantly exposing themselves. If we offered him a 1-year $60 million deal, he would accept on the spot. I don't think EA understands. I mean, they make a lot of money, so they should know what money does. But I don't think they understand what a 1-year $60 million with half of it guaranteed means. That means he is going there. It does not matter. It just does not. We offer him a good contract, but he's just not going to accept, and it's going to be real sad. I mean, we're going to have all this money and nothing to spend it on. I mean, this is like the ultimate fail rebuild, where we actually built a pretty decent young roster, but no free agents ever. Free agency has been, like, in previous Maddens, especially last year, it was too good, right? Free agency was insane. And now, it's way too bad. Like, they can't get it right. It's not that hard, man. I don't know. It's something, all right. It is something. I guess Leonard Williams, I actually tried to trade for him, but I was going to sign him, but I was like, you know what? You know, the Seahawks traded pretty high pick for him. There's no way they let him go year one, so I couldn't do that. We're replacing Aaron Donald with Leonard Williams, it seems, so that's going to be fun. I'm sure that'll go really well. And, I mean, we don't even need Tyreek Hill, but I'm just hoping to get him, I guess. We're not going to get him, though. And he doesn't join. What is his offer? So, we offered him like a 3-year 95. He joins the Jaguars on a 3-year 60. Makes sense. We at least got Leonard Williams because that was an actual for sure bona fide need. Also, we only have 128 mil left. Does that mean that Tyreek Hill took our money anyways? Okay, it's just glitched out. I was about to say, like, you kind of didn't join us. We'll take that back now. We never even gave you the funds, so I'm not really sure how this is happening. And looking at our dev-ups, Massey went up a whole 3 overalls after 1,000 yards in the season. I guess we needed Tyreek Hill more than I thought. That is an L. Matthews seems to have gone up in dev, I think. Not really sure how. Did he have a good season? I thought he had like 800 yards, which isn't like bad for a tight end, but it's not like elite. What else did we have? Cox was already an X Factor, actually. No one else went up in dev, but I mean, I guess it's an okay team, right? It's just losing Donald really sucks, and then wide receiver is a drop-off. And then the worst part is Simpson and Price have just been garbage, to be honest. But there's not really much we can do. Price is obviously the franchise quarterback. Man, those ratings are really mid, though. But, yeah, there's no time to get a brand new quarterback, right? Like to do this over again, unless we drafted a generational, it would take another 4 seasons, pretty much. So, you get that quarterback kind of early on. That's your guy, which, I mean, based on his ratings, I thought was perfectly fine. I mean, he looked pretty good out the gate, but he's just not playing well. I've tried a bunch of different schemes. Wow, what an upgrade considering the speed. I've tried KC, Tampa Bay, Cincinnati, the Chargers. There might have been one more in there that I completely forgot about. Obviously, we had the Rams, but, that clearly didn't work. So, I have no idea what it's going to take to get this offense going, but another draft. All right, so it cost us literally our entire 2027 draft, but we end up getting a wide receiver who is pretty young for the future. He's only star dev, but hopefully he'll get a dev up. 27-year-old Chris Olave, a first, a second, a fourth, a 7th this year, and then a 6th-round pick 2 years from now to get him on the squad. Wide receiver actually was a very big problem for us, and I kind of just thought Massey was going to be like an 80 overall. We could live with it, but yeah, Massey, even though he's 6'4", is going to be playing like number 3, as we got to start the 2 highest overalls to give ourselves a chance this season. This is usually our final season of a rebuild, but if we at least show promise, I probably will give it another season, but if there's no promise, then I'm just going to chalk it up as an L. Did we pass free agency already? Because we definitely need O-line. We did not, thankfully. We did skip one, so we may be screwed, but there should be a couple of linemen left. All right, we got Trent Brown, who will probably play right tackle for us, and then we'll move, if we have that right tackle. Yeah, we do have the young right tackle. We'll probably move him to guard then, which is fine. I mean, it's an improvement on the offensive line, so something finally improved. I guess wide receiver kind of did too, because Kupp was kind of regressed already. We making Michael Thomas out here a teammate of Olave. I don't know where I was going with that. Was weird. But yeah, Darren Waller. Let's screw it. We're going to have a squad of elderlies. All right, potential final team. This is season 5 now, and you know, if we don't show any signs of progression, there's no point in continuing to try, because once again, we're kind of losing players here. Players are kind of regressing for some of the positions, and obviously we lost Donald. Allen's only getting worse, and Chin, you know, we're going to need a new corner there, so, you know, this is a pretty good spot. Last year would have been the best chance to win it. This year's technically the best chance after that, because, once again, once we lose Allen, that's going to be an L. It is hard to find pass rushers. We only got freaking Kevin Cox because we got picked 1 overall. Without that, there's no way, but this is a team that should be good enough to win. I can't imagine there's many teams that are like even as good as this, and this is nowhere near the best team we've ever built. It's hard to build rosters, and you know, we would be higher overall if we actually won games, but we don't. I don't know what freaking scheme I'm going to be running, but we're going to have to try something different. All right, 158 mil. Shelby obviously gets a contract. Very high overall superstar. I probably could have done more than that, to be honest, especially since it was under 20 per. Bernie Matthews obviously gets a contract. The interest is just high enough to where it shouldn't cost us too much. There we go. Allen, I mean, kind of have no choice but to sign him long term, right? I don't want to do a 4-year, but I mean, I just think that's the only way he accepts. Like, look at that. Like, we dropped that a year. There's no way he accepts. Peck will get a contract. Watson has to get a contract. I always thought he was superstar, by the way, but I guess not. Anyone else in here? Maybe Trent Brown. Leonard Williams would be gone for sure. And Price with the 5th year. All right, if we win again, I think it could be playoffs. And we're in 10-7. I mean, an improvement. We're a 90 overall as well, which is, I don't know why I said it like that, 90 overall. Cole Price, a little bit better. We ended up rocking the Bengals playbook for the most of the season, and kind of worked out, right? Simpson's getting a little bit better, it seems. Olave killed it. That's a dev up. Nakua was pretty good. Massey was actually not bad, and the tight end was kind of the one position that didn't get to get on the stat train. Edge was worse than before for sure, and you know, with Donald, I kept the scheme all the way, and I still have with the Rams, but obviously things may need to change without Donald. He was apparently the carry man, and yeah, I mean, Allen's great, to be fair, but yeah, it's unfortunate to take the step back. Mahomes wins MVP. Bijan with the Offensive Player of the Year award. Elam's back, the generational DT that we've seen, the pick 1 overall that one season. He's cooking. He's cooking. I really want to see how good of a player he is right now. What team did it say he was? Cardinals, right? I'm pretty sure. Might even see him in the playoffs, right? Nope. 7-10. Never mind. Forget I said anything. Let's take a look at those Cardinals. And Elam, 99 overall, 25 years old. That's busted. 99 power move, 90 block shed, 97 strength, super fast. Yeah, I mean, outside of the finesse, very Donaldy. I wish we had him. His abilities are kind of garbage, though. Ripper's all right, but everything else is literally tragic. Yeah, that's not great considering, but it is what it is. 90 overall to the Falcons, 86. Surely we win this. Surely. End of the game. Come on, Rams. You gotta win this. Like, you legitimately have to win this. Like, I'm not doing another season if we don't at least win this game. So, if you lose this game, I mean, it's physically over, right? Up by 10. Not bad. Okay. Maybe we actually have a chance to do so. Okay. Maybe not. There's no way we lose to the Falcons, bro. There's no way. Like, this is not one of the premier teams that we should be... Well, that's the rebuild. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. We lose the playoffs back-to-back years in the wild card round, and to the Falcons? I mean, that's just destiny. Like, that's just destiny to never win a Super Bowl. You just can't draft and develop a running back. It just doesn't exist. You just can't. They have to be a superstar or X Factor, and then you have to wait 3 seasons, minimum, for them to be anywhere near a 4-yard per carry running back, even though, like I said, that's basically the standard these days in the NFL because the pass game's so prevalent that you kind of have to cover the pass game, and the run game is just always going to be kind of open for the big chunk yards, and yeah, we're averaging 3.1 yards per carry, like, every time? Like, that's just pain, bro. That is actually pain. We built a good roster. It's just EA bent us over. Also, not in the best spot considering, you know, we have Josh Allen on a 4-year deal, despite the fact that he's probably already going to be regressing kind of badly. Lucky is an X factor in fairness, but the Eagles, let's see what our team looks like. 2 playoff berths for the Rams, though, I'm just saying. Olave goes up in depth, not really a shocker there. And then defensively, Allen drops to a 90. Right end, and Leonard Williams just straight up retires. Maybe I'll do one more season. Screw it. See if free agency's anywhere decent, anything decent there. I might do the unrealistic thing again, though, and just trade for straight up players, because there's no way I'm doing a reload of this team if they can't even show me anything here in this, like, first, you know, rebuild, if you will. So, I might just go out and try to get another good player. Maybe, like, an interior D lineman that's actually, like, good straight up out the gate. Price, obviously, you give him that 5th-year option. Anything else? I think that might have been it. When did DJ Humphries get to star? He must have won, like, best O-line with the Cardinals or something. I don't know. Unless he already is star. Actually, he might have been. I'm just so used to seeing him as a normal dev all those years in Madden where he's like an 80, 82. And maybe they finally gave him star. I don't know. But looking at free agency, I mean, I guess Elton Jenkins would be your, like, big ticket item, but I don't really know if we need him. But then again, we don't need all of this money to be sitting around doing nothing, so yeah, it's either grab a corner, or maybe we trade for a legit corner. It's like I said, there's no point in doing the draft. I mean, like, what am I going to do with a 76 overall? I'd have to get an X Factor or a superstar, and even then, it might not really do as much as, like, a pure 88 plus would straight up out the gate. And like I said, we have money, so I might as well just pay Elton Jenkins. I mean, he's definitely going to be better than someone on our line. Can I get the offer to go to that 5th bar stack? No, please, maybe, no. No, okay, all right, screw me. F this guy, am I right? Let's get Elton Jenkins, and then find a corner to trade for. I guess you know, in the end, I actually did a pretty realistic rebuild. You know, where we started to go full real life Rams mode. And I guess the old saying of if you can't beat them, rob them blind is prevalent. That's the new word of the day. But AJ Terrell, 94 overall X Factor, 29 years old. We traded a first this, a second this, a third this, a fourth this, a second next, and a fourth next for that cornerback, man. And we probably have to trade him as well, or sign him. No man coverage, which kind of sucks, or very low man coverage, I should say. But he's still good, so I'm happy with it. Is that enough? Is that what we've been missing? I don't think so. It probably would have been better to go for... Screw it, did we just go full out and just grab a running back as well? Don't know if that'll be that easy to do, but any sort of, like, star running back that's, like, you know, kind of older, even if it's just, like, a 1-year deal, I'm willing to just throw the whole freaking team away. Like, I'm sorry, but, like, Percy Simpson should not be that bad. 91 truck, 86 stiff arm, 82 juke move with speed. He's got 92 break tackle. He should be running through everyone. He's tied for like the 6th highest trucking. And he just sucks. And Chubb's still pretty good. He would have probably needed another contract by now, or he would need one next season. You know what? I actually want to see how good has Chubb played this whole time, and how mad am I going to be that we didn't have this on our team. Oh my god, dude. 1,800 yards. That is bullcrap. Look at this. I mean, first year wasn't amazing, but the second year was great. Regressed, and he's still really good. That would have been the whole contract that we offered him, and he would be on their team another year now. HA with 98 speed's crazy, though. I mean, I guess we'll try to find some sort of running back that's proven it's like the only chance we have. All right, so the roster has been destroyed. We have got to win it this time. A first and a fifth and a third, and then an extra future second-round pick. Like, we have basically no picks for next season. Obviously no picks for this season. And then we've already taken away a second round for 2 years from now. So the team is really in a spot, but we have so much money anyways, so maybe it actually wouldn't matter. And here we are for the final season. This is Season 6. No matter what happens, this is the final season. I mean, the team's all right, and then Gibbs, obviously a massive upgrade at running back. We have completely gambled the team's future, but where have we seen that before? At least we gamble the future for very good players. And, you know, we have a chance to win the Super Bowl. I don't know if it's going to happen, but we at least have a chance to do it. And all these years of Hobbs waiting, he comes in and just kills it. Gets a dev up right away. Wow. 84 mil. Let's see how screwed we are, because we just traded for Terrell. Marshall's actually not asking for that much, so maybe we should have signed him right away. If we have the money, maybe we keep Simpson as a backup, because he is a really high overall. Kershaw, we might not have the money, though. Of course, we really needed Elton Jenkins, as he was basically a starter at right tackle for us. I thought he was going to be kind of like a backup, but that is not the case. Fifth-year option for Cox. And was the quarterback not on this list? Am I missing something? Didn't we have to give the fifth-year option to the quarterback? Is he not on the list? I guess not. 5-year 68 for Marshall is kind of crazy. Terrell, you know, we kind of just traded for him, so clearly we wouldn't let him go. 54 mil, Brewer, O-line. I mean, we don't have many draft picks, so we kind of have to keep what we have to start, or whoever has to start has to be kept. So maybe the running back doesn't stay around. Chin isn't really a starter. He's a backup at this point. Elton Jenkins, you might be able to get him back in free agency or someone else for cheaper. And that would be a lot better because we are kind of getting broke. I'm going to keep Simpson in the end because he's really cheap. You know, 5 mil per year for his level is pretty good. And I think you have to let Elton Jenkins go. Maybe move up one pick just to grab a lineman because Cox is going to cost 14.5. And, you know, this is over 14 mil. So we'd be dead broke. And we're in the playoffs at 12-5. This is a much better season, so I guess we'll take a look at the schedule. Did we lose like a bunch of... No, we actually did really well. Yeah, I was about to say, we actually clutched up because we were like 8-4 when I simmed, so 12-5 means we won a lot of games at the end. Let's take a look at these numbers on the top three for our quarterback. Price is getting better, I suppose. The interception is a little bit higher, but the touchdowns and yards are as well. Gibbs, way better yards per carry than Simpson ever had for us. Olave was pretty good. Nakua was pretty good. Massey was decent. Matthews was all right. Blocking. Shelby still giving a bunch of sacks because this game is awfully great. Edge rush, very good. Kershaw, not bad. Hobbs, good tackles for loss. I suppose he's better at block shedding than he is at pass rushing. Marshall and Terrell both with 3 interceptions each. Could this be a magical season? Obviously, we put a lot into the team we have now, and we do actually have the ability to keep it around for a while. Montgomery, always a bridesmaid, never a bride, and finally found his lover with the MVP win. I don't know what I'm talking about at this point. Any award wins? I'm trying to think. Brewer! Wow, what a good time to re-sign him, as he is now a superstar. And then Allen wins yet another Linebacker of the Year award, which is kind of ridiculous. Who the hell did we have to play? It was another kind of random team, right? Yeah, the Vikings. So we had the Falcons, we've had the Vikings. If we can't win a Super Bowl, or not even Super Bowl, but win the wild card round with teams like the Falcons and Vikings in front of us, I mean, it was just never going to happen, right? We're a 95 overall. We gambled the future completely. Let's go. Who the hell is that? Going to the end of the game. The Minnesota already scores 7. We do get back there with 7 right away. They get 3. We get 7. So perfect touchdown drives each time. 3 times now in a row. Not 4. It was almost 4 times in a row. Third quarter, it's still anyone's game. We are now tied up 21-all. We are now, okay, still tied. I thought we were going to be losing. And we're actually going to lose to the Vikings. Wow, the defense is clutching, though. I mean, we're literally, like, not trying to score. We're actively not trying to score. Like, are you actually kidding me? Like, why are we running the ball so much? Let's see if Massey maybe wants to get something here. And, oh, my Lord. I can't switch in time. Like, yeah, what a throw, dude. Great throw. Why did I even come into the game? I'm the worst luck of all time. 2 interceptions. Byron Murphy, the greatest corner of all time. Couldn't go to A because the guy was there. I felt like if I threw to the right bumper, it was fight versus the safety, whereas you throw to the other guy, Massey, and that's going to be undercut picked. We are making stops happen. So even though I sold... Nope, never mind. We went all the way back. I sold... The team's selling way better without me. This is a joke, bro. This is a game where the memes on Twitter would be like, can we just, like, eliminate both teams? Like, that would absolutely be what people say. 100%. Olave's been double-teamed, like, forever now. And underneath there goes the running back Gibbs, who's also a pretty decent wide receiver type. Can the offense do something? I've redeemed myself on that play. Not really, to be honest, but we win the game. We move on to the divisional round. The Vikings, who are a way lower overall than us, were right up there with us. They had Hunt, which is cool because that was from the same draft. Bradshaw was terrible. This is we literally said it the whole time, and the Vikings just aren't watching. You can't draft and develop a running back. Like, 2 yards per carry. Like, who do they think we have? We don't have Donald anymore. Like, I'm not really sure what we're doing here. All right, divisional round. We finally passed the wild card round, and now we're going against the Packers. I mean, these are just the most random teams ever, and yet we're struggling. All right, I'd imagine Jordan Love's not the quarterback still here. 7-0. We get a safety on them. Is that a touchdown from the safety? That's a 9-point swing minimum. And it's 12-14. It's a very weird way for us to get to 12, but we got there. 22-14. 25-14, and the defense is just like back-to-back weeks now, just clutching up beyond belief. And I'm glad we did this extra season. You know, even if we don't win a Super Bowl, we don't even... Oh, Lord. The running quarterback, you know, maybe don't run next time. Don't know what that was. Were we just like trying the kneel-down challenge or something? Dicker. Wow. I think he missed a field goal last week. It was somebody missed one, and I think it was our guy. 4 for 4 this week, so if he did, definitely made up for it as we are headed to the championship round. But yeah, even if we don't make it all the way, you know, this was worth it, right? Getting to the championship round with the Rams, win or lose, it was totally worth it. And you can argue if it was worth it, you know, trading all those draft picks, but I don't know. Fans will always say it's not worth it. Like, people still, like, now say, like, yeah, was it worth it for the Rams? It's like, the NFL is entertainment. I don't know if anyone realized this. Some people don't seem to realize this. It's basically not real, right? Like, it's doesn't matter, right? Win or lose, it doesn't technically affect your life, technically. So if you win a Super Bowl, but you gamble your future, yeah, it's worth it because you got to experience the awesome fun, the #1 goal for a team. So yeah. Like, if a team also is, like, let's say, constantly missing the playoffs, and they gamble, like, a season or two, and they win a few playoff games, it's worth it. Oh, my God, what's happening? This game is close while I'm rambling. Another overtime game. Holy crap, is that us? Oh, Lord, we get a field goal at least. 4th and 4. Oh, come on, get the stop. This ain't looking good. Boys, no! The Eagles win. Well, that sucks. I mean, we made the championship round. Price was good, and just they couldn't find a way to score in the second half of the game, or mainly the fourth quarter. And obviously in the overtime, they had a chance. They drove down, and then they sputtered, and the touchdown was gone, and the Eagles scored a touchdown to win, obviously. And even though we're the better team, the Eagles in real life are technically the best roster in the league, and you can't tell me that didn't play a factor here in the sim. You just can't tell me that. Like, if we're beat by 6 overalls, which is very rare in the playoffs, we get smacked. But if we're higher than them by 6, it's like, it's anyone's game. This could go anyway. It's like, okay, I'm sure that would go our way, right? Super fair. But as we're simulating the Super Bowl, the Dolphins win anyway. So the Eagles do not win despite the fact that they beat us, which is really the saddest thing for us. Looking at DevUps, no quarterback DevUp all the way through, but Olave is an X factor. And then defensively, Hobbs didn't go up. I don't think anyone went up in Dev on defense, but let's take a look at the team anyways. Shelby, because we did kind of draft and develop this guy from like a little seedling, he is terrible at run blocking in fairness, but he is god tier at pass blocking. which is very ironic because he's given up nothing but double-digit sack seasons. Way to go, EA. You guys are killing it over there. Looking at Brewer, he's more of just a power blocker, which I guess as a guard definitely works out a little bit better than, you know, just being pure pass block as a tight end, or not a tight end, a tackle. Looking at the tight end, Matthews, I don't think his speed ever went up, but his catching is really good, his route running is really good. This is one of the better tight ends we've drafted and developed for sure, and he did start off as a star, so you know, it's not like he was just destined to be great. Was a pretty high overall, I think 76 overall to be fair, but Cole Price, 97 throw power, short accuracy sucks, but everything else is really good, even throw under pressure. It was all, you know, he was good, he was decent, but he wasn't like spectacular. I'll look at Simpson, I guess, but Gibbs, he wasn't really ours to develop, so it's kind of irrelevant for me to check him out. Olave, we had him for 2 seasons, so why the hell not take a look at him? Really good release, very fast, great catching, route running's pretty good, especially the medium to deep range, but you know, I kind of would like that short route up a little bit higher. Nakua, obviously we got to check. 94 overall. I mean, we kind of sold him too. Like, we had him kind of sitting second fiddle for the majority of this rebuild, yet still got up to that spot. Massey's an 83 overall. I mean, he could definitely be a guy you could still build around, but you still have to pay him, which kind of sucks. Not a bad draft pick at all. We just, you know, it was a weird time for us. Like, we started, you know, developing him, and then we're like, oh crap, we need better wide receiver. It just, I don't know. Petrie, not worth it, right? He just wasn't great for us, but I suppose his ratings are better than his overall, like, reflex. I guess he was a part of a decent trade because we ended up getting the draft pick we wanted, and here's Hill. I imagine his zone's going to suck. Oh, wow. Hybrid did really well. It turned into freaking Owen Wilson there. Not bad. Okay, so like we got him as like a +3 or 5 man coverage guy, I think, and he ended up being an 88 zone, 89 man safety. I mean, he is ultra dynamic. He is actually really good. I am surprised to see him get that good, to be honest. AJ Terrell, I know he's new as well, but I am kind of curious to see if his man went up at all. It did not. Zone coverage goon. Let's take a look at the other corner, the one we actually did draft to develop. Marshall, who's only 26, I believe. 27. Whoops. Really good man coverage. Zone's not that great. Great press. Speed is pretty decent, I suppose. You know, the speed we've seen, I think, was like, did it say he had solid, but he had like a 4.36? It was something crazy. And here's Hobbs, who sat back up for ages, right? We absolutely should have started him, but 91 block shed, 76 power move, and this is only first season starting. He went from normal to star dev in 1 season. Kershaw, what a sick name, Jermaine Kershaw. 97 power move, pretty athletic, strength's low. You know, he's undersized for interior, but that doesn't really matter in game, so, you know, I decided to give him a chance, and, I mean, he was okay. He didn't really put up any crazy seasons, but his overall's good. Elliott, 88 block shed, 76 power move. Hobbs is absolutely a better, like, nose tackle than him, and Hobbs is pretty big, too, so it would fit. Cox, yeah, fitting Cox. Very good, right? 78 block shed, trying to get his block shed up as much as possible, but 97 power move, very athletic, great hit power, tackle, strength, all of that is really high for an outside linebacker edge. And then here's Allen, who's still looking pretty good. So that contract we signed him to, the 4-year, actually makes a lot of sense, and he's played well throughout. I want to see these sack numbers. I think he had double digits ever since joining us. Yeah, I mean, that's impressive. Like, we took a chance on him, you know, with these kind of mid-seasons from the Jags, you know, it's 9.5, and then he joins us, and, you know, 10, 16, 13.5, 12.5, 14, absolutely worth every penny, and, you know, he started as a star, and he got to X Factor and would have gotten X Factor multiple times if he could, because a bunch of, you know, best linebacker awards, you know, really high sack numbers. Watson, very good, because field general is just that. 80 zone, 81 block shed, but we kind of had him as the number 2 this whole time. This is the first year I actually put him as the sub 1, only because I've been trying to get Ernest Jones dev ups as well, but hey, he turned out pretty well as well. You know, 83 block shed, 81 zone coverage is really good for any linebacker, and yeah, I'm telling you, that field general, it cooks. It cooks, and I do want to see Dicker, because, you know, we got him as a pretty high kick power guy. 29 now, 98 kick power, 95 accuracy. I mean, that's goon status. That is really good. But anyways, if you guys enjoy this one, maybe leave a like, subscribe if you're new. If you're not new, I really, really do appreciate your continued support on the channel. Tomorrow should be a Texans franchise video with multiple videos on Saturday. Maybe Bears, Texans, and a rebuild. Maybe Bears, Texans, rebuild, and an experiment. I don't know. We'll see. But definitely 3 videos on Saturday, and maybe also Spider-Man tomorrow. I can't confirm. I'm kind of like working on a different type of video. Well, not even a different type of video, but a little bit of a longer video. And, it's not the easiest to try to find time for a little bit of Spooderman. But, I mean, I'll definitely finish the game at some point. And, at some point I'll have a little bit clearer of a schedule, if you will. And it'll be easier for me to at least put up 2 a week. But that's about it. If you guys have a suggestion for what team you want to see next or a challenge, let me know in the comment section below. And I don't know what a suggestion is, but if you got one of those, put it in there. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hopefully you guys come back for next video. But until next video,